Hello? Hello? Is anybody there? I don't see anyone. You all have to yell or do something with sound because I can't read chat. I seem to be having vision trouble. Thank you. Thank you very much, whoever played that sound effect. Welcome to the beginning of what will be a very emotional stream. I can promise you that. Oh, wow. Someone just triggered 90 million lumens. Even though this screen doesn't support 90 million lumens. I know that for a fact. I know that for a fact. Let me see if I can actually try and see something. Very difficult. Oh, here, wait. Rugmat, congratulations on being first. And welcome in. Nice to see you again. Definitely redemption camping. I agree with Steffi on that one. Yost, I see you're having playing with the lights, which is also very funny considering... T. Drayson. What are you doing? Why are you subscribing to this content when there is no content yet? My gosh. Okay.
Garbage.
Absolute garbage. Total garbage. Why would you subscribe when there's no content yet? Thank you very much, Steffi, for also coming in. Thank you, Rugmat, for redeeming my vision trouble at the moment, which is causing me a lot of havoc, I have to say. This is very challenging. Also, welcome in, Yost. Very nice to see you. I don't know if I said hello, because there's been a lot going on beginning of stream. Rugmat, today I learned Switzerland and Canada do not do DST on the same day. That is true. You were an hour early. Wow. Oh, okay. That is... that is pretty early. Yeah, we haven't changed yet. I believe we change in... I think we change at the end of the month sometime. Exegete. What? Why are you all subscribing? I haven't even started the stream yet. I haven't even delivered any content. How? Why? What? Okay. T. Drayson. What is this? Why, chat? Okay. You all need to calm down. It's Monday, okay? You all need to calm down. Like, a lot. Because there's now a hype train. And we just started streaming. So I don't know what you're all doing. But you all need to just calm down. Okay. You need to calm down. Rugmat, cheering 100 bits does not help us calm down. That's for sure. Okay. Jordan, you did it correctly. Welcome in. You have received the color green as part of your test. Very interesting. T. Drayson, thank you very much for the subscription. 8 months is indeed very epic. We're so close to popping out that Twitch baby together.
Garbage.
So close. So close. You like googly eyes, TD. I am content. I don't know if I'm content. Oh, I am content. I didn't read that properly. I did not read that with the correct intonation. Okay. Rugmat, thank you for that previous bit also earlier, because I missed that. If this is about the Shenzhen lockdown potentially delaying my new MacBook Pro, then yes, I am already very worked up about it. Yost, I'm not sure if that is what I am also talking about. Probably not. Exegete, thank you very much for the 6-month subscription. Half a year. My gosh, half a year. I don't understand how all of you can commit so much time to watching me. I don't know, just spew stuff. It's kind of incredible. I'm going on to mute. Can you please sign language from now on so I can continue watching and being inclusive to your audience? This is for you, TD. Hmm? Okay, I hope that was understandable. Exegete, yes, welcome in, and thank you very much for that subscription. It's highly appreciated. Finite, my gosh. 8 months as well? Almost a baby. We're so close to having that Twitch baby. What are we going to call it? That's a very good question. I'm a little bit behind on chat. I'm very sorry. Ian, welcome in. Thank you for tooting your way onto stream. I did hear something faintly toot sounding. It sounded a little bit like... what did it sound like? It sounded a bit like... ooh, I would say this one. A little bit. It sounded a bit like that. So it probably was you. I'd like my name on the top lip, like a mustache in pink. Yes, Exegete, you have already answered my question. That's great. TD, Finite, and Exegete, you all get to be put on this month's Mask of Subscription, which is, I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing this. I just started doing it and now I can't stop doing it. What will our Twitch baby's name be? I really don't know, Finite. It's a very good question. UK, welcome in, my friend. Spring break, Exegete. Is that the name of our Twitch baby? I've been watching you non-stop for 8 months. It's actually kind of creepy when you just read it that way. It sounds a bit creepy. To Singularity, Finite Shoes. Are we playing charades? This is definitely not charades. Ian, what kind of glasses would you want, by the way? Phil, welcome in. Nice to see you as well. If this is about the other Twitch streamers news, then I made a poor taste joke. I don't know other news. T. Jason wants to be under the eye. Okay. That's going to be interesting. So you want to be under the eye. Finite wants my name on the ridge of the nose, the bottom half of the letters to the face's right side, and the top half to the left side. On the ridge of the nose. That's okay, that'll be interesting. So we have to like write finite singularity across the ridge. Can I name our Twitch baby Import Baby from Twitch? No, wait. On the ridge of the nose, the bottom half of the letters to the face's right side, and the top half... Oh! You mean literally across the ridge, vertically. Oh gosh. Okay, what colors do you want? Most importantly, TD, Exegete. I think Exegete, you said a color. Wait. Like a mustache in pink. Yeah. Okay, so Exegete wants pink. So we're gonna go with vivid pink. That's this one. You want to see the color? Looks like that. Hype train success. Oh my gosh. You've collected all the level 1 emotes. Are you bonkers, Twitch? I've collected all the level 1 hype train emotes. Oh my gosh. That's terrifying. Blue is my color of choice. Finite singularity blue. That seems sensible. TD, what color? What color do you want on your mask? Okay, so Exegete wants on top lip, right? Just top lip. I don't want to get this wrong. I only have one chance. One chance. This year on top lip. Where did it go? I'd like my name on the top lip like a mustache in pink. Oh, background pink mustache? Should I be inspired by this? Ooh. Close. Jeet? Yo. There you go. Top lip material right there. Like a mustache. You're actually really right. It does look like a mustache, doesn't it? That's very cool. I see you found the new emotes, chat, which is always very good. Choo choo. I didn't see my sub announced. Maybe I extended one and I was in the middle of one. I know that you... Yost, did you change your subscription from Prime to something else? Because then... That's a long bunny, Steffi. Wow. If you changed your subscription, then I don't know when it gets announced exactly, because I think it carries through. I think. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Finite singularity blue, and TD doesn't get to choose color because TD, that's the maximum message length. That's the longest bunny you can make. Oh my gosh. UK! Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for that. 6 months as well. Holy moly, chat. Mike, where do you want to be on the mask and what color do you want to be? You see that the choices have been very specific, so yeah, very wow, that is very up close. Yeah, Yost, I'll put yours on there for sure. If it doesn't get announced, I'll put it on there by the end of the month, definitely. Okay, so we're gonna do finite singularity vertically across the nose. I have to judge this for space. I think I have to start the F in the nostril, I'm sorry. Because it's like, Fine night singularity. There we go. Finite, you are now on the ridge of my nose. Oh yeah. Is it Resub Monday? Is everyone getting paid or something? What's going on? I'm glad you find that beautiful. Thank you very much for the bits, Rugman. I appreciate that. UK would like to have brown in the soul patch position. All soul patches are shit. Not seeing the background in full, that could also look kind of NSFW. Yeah, actually, it's true. It's not, but it could be, which makes it funny. Of course. I have to say, I'm pretty proud of Finite. I'm pretty proud. Just drop shit. How do you do that? Just drop shit. Also, I tested the drop game before, okay? And there was no lag. There's only lag now while streaming, which is very interesting. Okay, so UK, you want to be in brown in the soul patch.
Garbage.
Natural oak. I think that's pretty much the color of this this person's beard here, probably. If that's a beard, that is. That's the big question. It's funny that only one of you actually used the go live message. Oh.
Same day delivery. Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world.
Drop the kids off at the pool. Yeah, Jordan, I think no one else was in the test or something. It's pretty interesting. Oh my gosh, already? Mongosaurus? No way! First try! That's pretty cool. Yeah, maybe no one else was in the test, Jordan. It's also possible. You picked a greenish color light. Okay, Yost. That's good. Yeah, you know what?
You just drop in, just smack the lip, pull back, drop down, snap.
Okay, UK. Soul patch. Just so I understand correctly, thank you very much for the 90 million, Finite. Soul patch is literally the middle bit, right? Like this part here that I'm stroking.
Can't do it. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
We are doing it live. Everything you see here is live. Nothing of this is pre-recorded. So yeah, soul patch. It's the Austrian ski instructor's favorite beard. Fred Durst. Ah, I don't think Fred Durst is on Pexels. Okay, but UK, I might have to write your name vertically so that it looks like a soul patch. I think that makes more sense. UK Maddles. There we go. Okay. Also, welcome in, Jay Walter. So nice to see you, my friend. It's been a moment. I know I wasn't here on Friday. There are reasons for that, which I will get to momentarily. You will wear that same tie.
And Secretary Cardona and Mayor Bowser and Chancellor Fairby, you know, thank you for joining us as well. And for families across the country.
Amazing. So I think this looks pretty great, chat. I think the mask of subscription is probably something that's going to stay for a while. I think it's pretty funny. It's a little bit terrifying, yeah. The little blow on the horn at the end. Oh, we'll do it live, Ty. Ah. That sounds fun. So Ian, you didn't answer me about sunglasses, so I'm just gonna put a pair on. I don't know what you want. I don't know which ones you want. It's also 12 minutes ago,
Fine.
so.
I'll say I'm sorry.
No, be sincere. Like this. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
That's a chin
sorry.
hawk,
I'm sorry.
not a soul
sorry.
patch.
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry,
sorry.
Ian, I didn't
I'm
see you
sorry.
said that.
I'm sorry.
Fastest
I'm
you
sorry.
got.
Good, that's
These
the
are
one.
literally the fastest. This is like the first ones. The first ones in the bag. Literally. I grabbed and then those were the ones there. So yeah, I said this stream was going to be emotional. And I'll be real honest with you, chat. Things are not great at the moment. I'm very grateful for your support and for all the cheering and all of you being here. Things right now are not going great at all. My partner has COVID. That's the first thing, which, in case none of you know, is not great. I'm fine. I'm also negative still, as of yesterday at least. She has isolated herself in our apartment, and seeing as I am generally responsible for things around the house, I kind of have to take care of a lot of things anyway. So, you know, like cooking and stuff like that. So I just have to do all of those things, which doesn't really change anything, but I also don't want to get COVID. You know, like probably most of us don't really want to get it. So the corona situation, Steffi, is she's fine. She has like mild cold like symptoms, which no doubt is due to being triple jabbed by some magical vaccination stuff. Like I'm also. I don't think I'm going to get it, but I of course don't know for sure. And of course, you know, things can change, so we're obviously being very careful and etc. But she probably already got it sometime last week, so she'll need to stay in isolation until Friday. So that's the whole of this week where I had to cancel a load of things, and that's basically the big impact for me. Is I'm essentially now in a sort of self-imposed quarantine. Exactly, Steffi. So self-testing. So tomorrow I'll have to take a self-test because I need to go to the doctor, and so I need to do a self-test before I go to the doctor because they want to be certain that you don't have symptoms, but you also don't have, you know, that you're not positive, or that you're positive that you're negative. Let's make a joke about it. Okay, we made it. Thanks very much for the bits, Rugmat, and also for the earlier good vibes. I saw that too. And the balls, of course. Thank you for the balls. So yes, that has not been fun, but she's feeling okay, and that's the most important thing, is that she's not, you know, needing to go to the hospital or something like that. But that's been super rough, for sure. We had to cancel our plans we had yesterday. We were going to get together with some friends and have our D&D campaign, and we had to cancel that, and that is the biggest thing that pissed both of us off, because we were really looking forward to the next part of our D&D campaign, and yeah, we weren't able to do that. So that's been a real bummer. And on top of that, I had to cancel stream on Friday, as most of you probably realized. I didn't go live on Friday because I was at a market. I was at a stand with our startup, and what I realized is that the market goes until 8 p.m. and my stream, I normally start at 9 p.m. and it's not that far away. It's about 20 minutes from here, but I realized relatively early on Friday, before I left, that I wouldn't be able to make it back in time to do all of the planning that I do before stream and get things set up and put away things and whatever, and that the market would probably run on with the organizers and the people who are who have stands there, and that I would be late. And because the market was Friday and Saturday started relatively early, I just took an executive decision to cancel stream. And I really don't like doing that, to be very fair. Like, I like to stick to my schedule, and so I felt kind of bad for sort of canceling it last minute. Especially how last Monday I didn't have the foresight to say that, Friday I probably wasn't going to stream. So I don't like doing that. It made me very uncomfortable. And I know that all of you think it's totally fine, and I know that everyone doesn't think it's a big deal, but for me it's kind of a big deal. So that made me a little bit uncomfortable. And yeah, that's not enough, of course. Like, if you have stuff going on, then usually stuff comes in threes. And welcome in, Dust, very nice to see you. And Yost, yeah, sure, it's for a good reason, but like, yeah, I still just don't like canceling streams. I mean, I schedule them in such a way that it's the easiest part of my week, can I say. Did I come in at a bad time? No, Dust. I'm just explaining how badly things are going for me at the moment. The reason I'm talking about this stuff is because I want all of you to understand that it is important to share with others how you're doing, and it's okay to not be okay, right? In the sense of mental health, and in the sense of mental health and for people's sanity, I think it's really important that we talk openly about how we're doing, both physically and mentally. And yeah, for me at the moment, both physically and mentally, things are a little bit challenging, and I'm not gonna try and cover that up or try and put on a poker face. If I try and put on poker face, I'll just put on the mask, right? I'll just do this, and then you don't see my expressions. No, I mean, I think talking openly about it is important. Has nothing to do with, you know, gender. It has nothing to do with being manly or being womanly or any of that stuff. It's purely a human being talking about. Oh no. Oh god. Yeah. So Rockmat has apparently broken the stream. That's great. What happened? I don't know how to fix this. Oh, cool. That's nice. Okay. I'm glad it fixes itself. Rich, welcome in. Nice to see you. Welcome in. Sorry to hear that, man. I hope it gets better ASAP. Thank you, Dust. I appreciate that. I see Rugmat playing with the channel point here. I'll get to that one in a second, Rugmat. So yeah, I accidentally did a right join and I feel bad. That would be par for the course, though, wouldn't it, in SQL? No one does right joins. Come on. Come on. I mean, really, who wants to do a right join, right? Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think it's important to talk about it. So yeah, I've been struggling physically with my back since several months, and yeah, I have been doing a lot of physio and going to the chiropractor because I've been having such issues with my lower back, and basically the issue stems from us having a very soft mattress, which has caused a larger condition in my lower back, and that's something that I've been working on to change. And actually I can flip this because previously it wasn't that good, but actually today in the shower I touched my toes for the first time in I don't know how many years. So I was actually pretty happy about that. I screamed telling my girlfriend, she was in the bedroom obviously isolating, but I screamed and said, oh my god, I can touch my toes. And it was like one of those moments where you realize that when you put in the work, things actually do improve. And I'm not one of the most flexible people out there. Probably most of you could maybe read that a little bit from my stature. As a person, I'm not, you know, super twiggy, nor have I been in a gymnast or something like that. So yeah, left join, best join. Oh yeah. So no, I was really happy about that I can touch my toes. I don't know, how many of you can touch your toes? Is it something like when you reach sort of mid 30s, is it just something you accept that you can't touch your toes anymore? I don't know. But yeah, it was like a huge deal for me now that I was able to touch my toes. I don't know. Inner join, best join. Inner joins are also kind of cool, but I prefer left join because I can still use a wear to filter out. That's my thing. Yeah, so I've been struggling with that as well. On top of that, well, startup stuff is always, you know, up and down. That's very much a roller coaster. I think we're going through a little bit of a rough patch at the moment. That doesn't help things. And you may have noticed, but some of the channel point redemptions are not there. Notably the bunny suit, and although I don't know if someone would have redeemed that today anyhow, and the Fiona on bunny cam. And the reason for that is the other thing, which is not great, which is Fiona is not doing so great with her hind legs. She is struggling a little bit to get up. Oh, there's going to be an ad, by the way, for almost none of you because you're all subbed. Fiona's been struggling a little bit with her hind legs. I think I mentioned it a few weeks back. And so because she's struggling at the moment, I don't want to show her on camera. I think it's a bit uncomfortable for people to see that. If you're not if you're not expecting it, then it can be very very disheartening to watch. She's not in any pain at all, like really. We've had her on pain meds and she was the same. She doesn't really mind. She jumps on the couch and stuff, like she's acting completely normal. Basically what it is it's muscular, and it's very hard to get her to kind of train the core muscles that she needs to actually carry that hind weight as she gets a little bit older. So yeah, we're still sort of discovering the best way to keep her mobility up. And yeah, ultimately, look, she's able to go to the bathroom and stuff and all those things herself, and she's eating and all that stuff. But yeah, it's just a bit heartbreaking to watch. So yeah, I've chosen to just take those out for the moment. And the bunny suit is simply because the temperature in here today is too high. It's like 26 for some reason today. I don't know why. And I cannot stand getting into that thing when it's so warm in here. So Jay Walter, I'm 46 in 2 days and a toe toucher. I'm a 42-year-old toe toucher. Wow, it's so weird when you say it that way. That's so creepy. 34, easy done, except after long nights out and too much alcohol. Oh wow. So all of you are so nimble. That's pretty awesome. That's amazing. Okay. I'm very impressed. I'll have you know. I'm very impressed with all of you. From standing and without bending the knees, just tried almost at 50. Okay, Yost. Okay, yeah, that's very cool. All right. I've always been able to touch my toes. Nice. But you know, I mean like standing and not bending your knees. Like I can touch my toes now while I'm sitting. Like that's just to be clear. I'm just to be clear. It's like that. No, it's not Bork dust. It's manual. I'll come back to that in a second. Chillaxafor, 34 and alive. Chill, welcome in. It's so nice to see you again. Thank you for all the support for Fiona, by the way. I appreciate that. 45 not touched toes, standing up in 15 years. Sitting, it's hit and miss. Okay. Yes, standing and not bending the knees. Bending the nose. So we have a redeem first from Rugmat, which we'll have to get into.
Hello, Rugmat. I see that you have called the dark side out. Oh, also, we should definitely add the additional effects to this. This is what, Dust, this is what's missing, by the way. This color change. This needs to happen in Atom, by the way. The light stuff, if I could do that within Atom, that would truly be Hugh, indeed. Hugh, indeed. That would be GDPR this? No! We don't need an additional layer of GDPR. This is more than sufficient protection right now. we do not need that. Finite, I can't believe that you remember Chillaxathor's greeting. That's pretty awesome. Let me get OSC, sound effects, and some public API changes out first. Okay, Dust. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Steffi, I see you're having problems with the keyboard today, and that's okay. We cannot layer effects on top of each other, but what we can do... Well, there's two of those are already done. What we can do is have 1 FPS drops, which is pretty fascinating. Rich, it looks like you might actually land that one. It actually looks pretty close, to be honest. We have to do Dust's time warp scan. That is necessary. So Dust, you can already say the time warp scan will go vertically or diagonally or horizontally. You can totally choose what type of time warp scan you want to occur. I don't know if you've seen it before, by the way. You might not know what I'm talking about. It's possible. Oh, diagonal. Okay. That's good. That's good. Wonderful. Okay. So yes, all things considered, everything on top of each other, the layer of difficulty, right? Like the startup stuff, which is always there, and then my partner having COVID, and then the bunny not doing so well, and then my back stuff, like, just makes a shit cake, basically. So yeah, I'm trying to get out of that situation as quickly as possible. COVID I can do nothing about. The bunny, we are taking to the bunny hospital next week for another exam. In the meantime, we're just supporting her as we can. Startup stuff is startup stuff, and for my back, I'm doing physio and exercise, and that seems to be making a difference. So I am looking forward and trying to...
yeah, do that. What happened to justinnumbers.com? Not reachable. What? What happened there? Okay. That's very interesting. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not good. That shouldn't be the case. It's on Netlify. That's very weird. Are they having DNS issues? Could be a DNS thing. If it works for you, Rugmat. Too many N's. Ah, just in numbers. Yeah, it's just in numbers with 1 N. 2 N's, sorry. Just in numbers. Yeah. 3 N's in the domain, exactly. Just in numbers. 2 N's. Double N. Thank you, Rugmat. I didn't even catch that. Wow, okay. That's finite. I fixed chalk boom frame rates by using a Chrome window alpha channel rather than the OBS browser source. Ooh, that's a nifty idea, Finite. Oh, I like that. That's a very cool idea. All right, Dust, it's time for the time warp scan. It's from the links in my bio. Ooh, that's even worse. So it's linked wrong on Twitch. Okay. Okay. That's not good. I didn't know people actually click those. There you go. I guess I need to change it now. Not enough ends. Too many ends. Well, let's go fix that quickly. In the meantime, Chanel. Clearly the solution is to buy up just in numbers and forward it. Yes, and probably also with 4 ends, right? Probably. I guess I need to buy all of them. Just in numbers. Told you should have gone with streamy McStreamy face. No, you see the problem with that, Steffi, is that you could have streamy McStream face, but then other people read it as streamy McStreamy face, and then there's a Y missing, so you need 2 domains as well. And streamy McStreamy face is too long. Oh my gosh, there's actually 3 ends in there. That's awful. How would I do that? I gotta edit my profile. Not COVID, before anyone says it. Streamy McStream stats. But someone could still read it as streamy McStreamy stats. Still. Oh no, that's editing the thing. How do you edit the profile while... Edit panels? No, it's not edit panels. Oh my gosh. Thank you very much, Chilaxathor. It's not COVID, I just sneeze a lot. Like a lot. And the lights, streaming lights make me yawn, but don't ask me about that. I really can't answer that, why that is. Where is my profile? How do you even get to your profile? Account settings? This is so weird. Streamy McDreamy stats. It's actually... It's pretty funny. I don't know why I find that so funny. Thanks, Phil, for the vibes. I'm trying to find this stupid link and I don't find... Oh, here it is. Just in numbers. Does anyone know, while I'm here, does anyone know how to get the icons? Let me just show this for a second. How do I switch scenes? What's streaming? This is streaming. Oh, look at that. 90 million from earlier. Okay. How do I get the icons to appear here? I see some people on Twitch have the icon. Does it fetch like the fave icon from the site automatically? Or how is it getting that icon for the links? Because like this one, is it the fave icon from the site? Ah, so it only knows it for some of them. But like Discord, if I want to have the Discord link, because this is a bit.ly. Ooh, yeah, wait a second. Hold on a second. I think that's a real Discord link now for the Claw Discord. Because I think we have a real one. I think that's a real one. I think we have a real URL. How do I... Okay, maybe just... Can I just try it? Can I just try it and see... How does that work? Oh, thank you, Steffi. Thank you so much. That solves my problem. Okay, so we're gonna change this one. So I don't have a fave icon. I have a fave icon on my site, but they don't get the fave icon because it's not a common site. That's super nice of them. Okay. Please enter a valid... Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. Fine. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. But thank you for telling me. Justin ! Umbers. We have to get back quickly to do the time warp scan from Dust. Okay. Dust.
I put my faith in data, information.
Mm-hmm.
Ones and zeros never lie.
I do, exactly. I do, exactly. So what we need to do, this is very important. We have to set up the thing to be diagonal. So we're going to go to here, we're going to go to filters, and then we're going to go time warp scan, and then we're going to go to diagonal. 90 degrees is not diagonal. 45 degrees is diagonal. Okay. Also, Alan, welcome in. I don't think I said hello to you. What page were you just on with the icons or not icons? That's the Twitch profile page. 1 second. To edit your profile. It's... Do you want the URL, Alan? It'll have to be the one for you, obviously. It's this one. Yeah. You obviously won't be able to get to that one because it's me. Haha. But yeah. Okay, so diagonal painting. Dust, do you have a particular recommendation or suggestion for poses or things that I should be doing? I have a certain thing I'd like to try out. I need to change this to be... Where is it? Do I not have... Oh yeah, there we go. Oh, blue. Okay. Dab. Unironically dab. Okay. Oh, that didn't work. I did it the wrong way first. Excuse me.
Garbage.
Thank you very much. I shall dab according to Dust's requests. No, it's still the wrong... Okay, I did it the wrong way again. Oh my... Ah. Okay, let's try it one more time. It's that way. It's that way, yeah.
Same day delivery.
Oh my gosh, I'm dabbing to Bezos.
The richest man in the world.
I'm actually dabbing to Bezos. That's pretty... I have to say, that's not... That's not garbage. It's not garbage. It's not bad. I've seen worse. Let's put it that way. I've seen worse. So Dust, I have fulfilled your request. But apparently, all hail Bezos. It's a good thing you wrote hail properly. Oh.
Same day delivery. Jeff Bezos, the richest man in the world.
Okay. So, Steffi, I know you wanted this a long time ago, but it's just happening now instead. I am being protected, according to the GDPR. Anyhow, chat. So, yes, today is going to be a very emotional stream. As I said, I explained all the stuff going wrong, but now we can talk about all the stuff going right. Oh no. What is happening? Oh, I did not account for this. Oh dear. I did not account for this. How does this sound right now? Because I'm very terrified as to how this sounds. Is my voice distorted and deep at the same time? This must be very bad. Understandable. Oh, deep and distorted. Oh gosh, that's terrible. So I'm gonna have to add a thing in there that while GDPR is on, you can't mess up my stream. Okay, very interesting. Luckily, Atom can do that. Luckily. Nah, it's good. Perfect indeed. Bad 80s robot sci-fi voice equals awesome. And you said you can't stack them. Yes, look Dust, let's just do it let's just do it for what it is, okay? Dust, everyone, Dust is one of the developers for Atom. Atom is one of the pieces of software that I'm using to control the automation on my stream. I'm loving Atom so far. I think it's pretty epic, to be honest. Honestly, the level of automation that you can do there is pretty insane. Full disclosure, it's not sponsored. I pay for this shit. I'm paying for it. I'm paying for it. So, you know, no one can say that I'm plugging them. But yeah, it's oh my gosh, did you just land, Dust? Wow, talk about pay to win. But yeah, that's all the automation and stuff. Most of the automation stuff you see happening here on the stream is from Atom, or me triggering a rule in Atom manually. Perfect indeed. When you land in the drop game after me doing a non-sponsored segment about Atom, that is the definition of rigged. I don't think there's a better definition for rigged, chat, to be honest.
Fine, I'm gonna have to look... Oh, excuse me. Apparently I've been revealed for my true self. Fine, I'm gonna have to look into doing the alpha channel thing. Because I think, yeah, OBS did some like canvas changes stuff. Anyway. So chat, we can talk about all stuff going wrong all day we want, but it would be much more fun to talk about stuff going right. So let's take a look at what has been going right. Since we saw each other last time, a lot has been happening in the background. I revealed my Tau token and changed it in the meantime, so none of you should go try and do weird stuff with my Tau token because I changed it already. Because, you know, it wouldn't be a real stream if you didn't dox your token at some point. And you know, I'm ultra careful, but, you know, it still happened. Tau token doxing, let's go! Yeah. Magic potato. Now I need to see what this is. This is a magic potato. Honestly, Ian, I have no idea how to answer that. Is that licorice? I think that's licorice. Background token. I thought it was gonna be an NFT. Joke's on you, Exegete. So yeah. I don't know what's with the drop game. Sometimes it's working fine, and then sometimes it slows down again. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like licorice to me as well. It's a bit strange. Oh, that was weird. That didn't work very well. Wow, there's some weird stuff going on. You doxed one of your virtual credit cards. I'm glad I'm not the only one that does this crap. Oh wow, so you put in credit card stuff on the stream? Oh, we should make a website that tracks how long it's been since streamers have doxed themselves and posts what they doxed. Ooh, that's harsh though. But it would force people to consider security, I suppose. I guess, I don't know. So there's a lot of stuff happening actually. Oh, I'm sorry, Phil, to hear that. So there's a lot of stuff happening in the background. If you're not familiar with this project, that's fine. But there's just in numbers, the core, where Tau is running inside, okay? Had my scene change on keypad. Ah. Oh, ouch. That's unfortunate. We've got Tau running in the cloud. What does that look like? Tau running in the cloud looks exactly like this. Let me show you. It looks exactly as you would expect. Tau, as you all know, Tau. You should all know what Tau is. If you don't know what Tau is, then Tau. Tau. Tau, the application that Finite helped build, or is largely behind, to be honest, which shows you all the stuff that's happening on your stream. This is actually running in the cloud. So it's not running locally, as most people are running it probably. It's running in the cloud. So while it's running in the cloud, we can do all kinds of crazy stuff with it. One of the things we can do is we can basically use the endpoint that is made available to us, which is Helix. So Helix, all of Twitch's Helix API endpoints are all like converged into one endpoint. Hi Tao, nice to meet you. That was supposed to be a Tao in the cloud portmanteau. What? I'm confused about that one, Alan, but that's probably my doing and not yours. I'm sure the joke was very good. I am... I feel compelled to respond on Tao's behalf. Yeah, Finite. Honestly, great product. So one of the things we can do is we can call various parts of Tao in the cloud, right? So one of them, for example, gets my stream information. And one of the things we didn't do last time is we didn't have a check function around it. So it would actually write my stream data every 2 minutes, even though I wasn't live. So I added a short array check here for the length of the array. So if the array is not there, oh, Tao in the cloud, Taoed. Have you been Taoed yet today? Could be a good tagline. So yeah, we basically get, I mean, the comments are wrong. Don't worry about that. But we process the stream data, and the stream data gets sent every 2 minutes while I'm live, gets sent to Postgres. So that's one of the things you can do. We do the same with chatters. Every 2 minutes they get sent to Postgres. And what you can also do is listen to Tao's WebSocket. The WebSocket is the best part because the WebSocket we can use to detect various events. So basically what we do is we get chatters here, which we need to do as part of our WebSocket thing, because when we detect a raid, that was a good attempt, Steffi. When we detect a raid, we want to get the chatters at that time and put them into chat for a lot of different reasons. We'll get into this in a second. But you see here in this function, we're creating a WebSocket, or rather we're creating a WebSocket using the technology that Tao provides us to create a WebSocket. And oh my gosh, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be? It's Bulbasaur. Of course, it's Bulbasaur. You should know that. If you didn't know that that was Bulbasaur, then you need to read up on your Pokemon, definitely. So we have this socket that listens for these events, and of course, if the event is there, like a raid, then we get user data and we write the raid data to Postgres, which is all this stuff is happening in the cloud. It's not happening locally on my machine, which means, if we just take this away for a moment, if I look in Twitch chatters, for example, let me just show you what's been written here. There's so far, I don't know how many rows there are. It's going to tell me in a second. Everyone should listen to Tao's WebSocket. It can be quite insightful and gets angry when you ignore it. There's 7,300 rows in here already. And basically, I went live a little bit earlier, right? Where did we go live? 9, which is 8 UTC, I think. I'm not sure exactly. Something here, something like this. Anyway, basically every 2 minutes, we're writing the chatters in chat. We're writing them into this list. Okay, that's just completely raw. We also should have named this Twitch chatters raw, and I know that, but I can't change it right now because it's used in so many different places. So that's part of the final roll up for the feature when we're done, like the retrofitting part, or refactoring rather. I'm not gonna do that now. But basically, you've got all these things being executed every 2 minutes. Welcome in, raw chatters. Indeed. Welcome into the raw chatters. So you've got a list here, an array of all of the people in chat. This doesn't mean that they're viewers, just to be clear. These are just people connected to your chat. Some of these are obviously bots, but yeah. Every 2 minutes, this is being executed. What's also being executed on WebSocket is this RAID thing. So we can see here that every time there's a RAID, it's written in the timestamp of the RAID, which is really cool because some of them are single viewer raids, because all of you have been joking around. But this one, for example, was a real raid. I mean real in the sense that it came from someone else who wasn't already in chat. 18 viewers. 18 viewers. And so at that time, we have a timestamp. This was from Soy Pete, was the raid. So we have a timestamp of when that raid occurred. This timestamp here, right? And what's interesting about this is that we have in Twitch chatters, if we want to go look at that particular timestamp, let me just go insert it at 20, 22, 03, 05. Wait, when was it? 0029. 002500. I think that should work.
Rugmat is raiding with a party of one.
So it begins. Another case for an ORM. Yes, exactly, Phil. Absolutely. That's, yeah, I mean, for now, while I'm still designing the feature and stuff like that, totally fine. But yes, finite as well. Yes, I will need a proper ORM to do this because I don't want to be executing SQL raw like that. Also because someone might decide to do some weird stuff with input, and I don't know. Are you saying Roscoe's raid wasn't real enough for you? No, I just mean Roscoe was already probably here watching me and decided to raid me. Much like Rugmat did now. By the way, thank you for the raid, Rugmat. Welcome in. Hope you're doing great. For those of you watching, you might realize that it's not a raid in the sense that Rugmat was streaming, but Rugmat was offline and decided to raid. Was the chatters thing running at this time? Oh no. 0305 002935 00. That's weird. Do I not have the chatters? Oh yeah, I do, sorry. Okay, so what we have, if we look, is around that exact time of the raid. So if we look here, 002935, we have just before, so that's here, and after, we have the list of all the chatters. No, Roscode was not. He was sleeping peacefully and I woke him up for it. He was greatly agitated that I woke him up. Oh dear, I'm so very sorry to hear that. So the idea is that from these lists of chatters, we should be able to find 18 people who were coming from the raid. This is what's really, really difficult about this case. And Phil, you've asked the exact correct question. Because Twitch uses IRC, you can have chatters who are not connected to your stream. Your stream itself, the video player, and the chat are two entirely separate things. The way that Twitch counts a viewer is by looking at the number of people connected to your video player. It has nothing to do with the number of people in chat. So if we wanted to look at viewership, we would go here to Twitch Stream Raw. For example, here, right? So you see now I'm live. So it is writing every 2 minutes, it's writing my information into chat. It probably doesn't get updated much more often than that. Let me see if I can find... Can I make this big enough so that we can see the view number? Otherwise, I'm gonna have to extract it. Come on, come on. No! Okay, it's too big. It's too long, I'm sorry. And yes, finite's exactly right. Yes, there can be, and there often is, accounts attached to your stream that have nothing to do with your video player, attached to your chat, sorry, connected to your chat, but not connected to your stream for whatever reason. There's a lot of reasons for that. So if we want to get the actual view number, I think we did this the other day. Did we do this the other day? Maybe not. Okay, let's do it here quickly. Make this a bit bigger. Can you all read this? Is that big enough? Just make this a bit smaller. Again. So Twitch stream raw. Twitch stream raw. Steam stream. Okay. So if we look at everything in here, we're going to see there's a lot of data. Bots, for example, hang in chat but don't count as viewers. Exactly. So they hang out in chat and they're connected to your chat and they do a lot of things. I don't know exactly what they're doing. Maybe they just read chat. Maybe they're just... Who knows exactly what they're doing there, to be honest. A lot of them are just there for like a sort of follow for follow type thing. When you see them there, you should go follow them or something. I don't know exactly. And I like to go hang out in IRC just to throw people's analytics off. Yeah, that's the other thing, is a lot of third-party tools take the a number of users connected to chat as the viewer number, and that's completely wrong. That's absolutely 100% incorrect. It's the people connected to chat are literally the number of users connected to chat. If you really want to see it, you just go to this link. Just use my tool called Lurk Reveal. Go to Lurk Reveal and you can see exactly who's in chat. That's it. Many of those people are not counting as viewers. I have 36 users in chat and Twitch is telling me I have 19 viewers. I don't know how many you people see. You probably see around 19. Time to dust my IRC BNC from the old QuakeNet days off and connect it to Twitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and get some stuff from stream data. 17 viewers for Rugmat. Okay, yeah, it's pretty close. So we're going to do stream data. What's the JSON stuff? I know it's a JSON. 36 in chat, 18 in Twitch for you. Okay, I have 19 on my iPad app. There's always like plus or minus 1. There's always a bit of a deviance. Yeah, this was the syntax, exactly. So if I want to access the viewers, first I need to understand where they are. So stream data, let me just copy one of these. So this is what the string actually looks like. Viewer count, here we go, 0. That's when I went live, I had 0 viewers. So we have a viewer count, which is within something, maybe? Is it in something or not? Maybe not. I don't think it's actually within anything. I think it's just viewer count. Can we actually clean this? Is that possible? Can we somehow reformat that? No, it's not going to reformat it. Okay. Well, let's see if we get it this way. Viewer count. Might work. No, that didn't work. Okay, that didn't work. Stream data. Is it an array of an object? Ah, how did we insert this? Oops. Ah, it is JSON-B. Okay. So it is JSON. So it should be... Ah, wait, maybe it's one level deeper. Maybe it's one level deeper. I'm not sure. Let me just see something. Does anyone know offhand how deep it is? What the... That was not what I wanted. Is it within like an object? Actually, we should just open it, shouldn't we? Okay. Sublime is the one that I know that I can format this in. Okay. This is JSON. Format JSON. Here we go. So this is what it looks like. That doesn't look so bad. Why is that not working then? Strange. Viewer count. You're back, Dust. The cats are now fed. It's an object in an array. Yeah. But it's stored as JSON B. Let me just try something. Let's see what this gives us. Ah, okay. Yeah, so I made a mistake probably formatting it. So if I do like this and then do viewer count, I think that's correct. Ah, there we go. Yep, okay. Just make this into an int. Ah, another NyanCat user in DataGrip, a man of culture. Yeah. I love the NyanCat thing. Overall, I am a huge NyanCat fan, so, you know. Okay, so this is our viewer count. Okay. So this is great. If you look here, you can see, so my stream today went from 0 to 1 to 5 to 12, and now I have all of my view counts for my stream. It's fantastic, right? These are the viewers that Twitch is reporting. At the same time, from the other thing, from chatters, I can just do, what's the format here? Twitch chatters. Chatters is also JSONB. So let's go, oh wait, what was the name of the thing? 1 second. Twitch chatters, it's called chatters. Okay, so we do chatters. And I think it's just gonna be a count situation. Let's see. Chatters dot, no, it's not length. Oh my god, I'm mixing up JavaScript and SQL. It's terrifying. Length of chatters from Twitch chatters. Let's see if that works. I don't know if that works. Function length. Ah, right. JSON B ag. Is it length? Oh my gosh, what's the function? Is there a JSON B? Yes, array length. That's the one. There we go. Okay. So check this out, chat. You can have, for all of the calls, we have our chat count, chat users, let's call them, I don't know. So we have our chat number of users in chat, right? These are not aligned, by the way, by timestamp. I will get back to that in a second. If we do, oh, we could do this, hold on, inserted at, and then we do inserted at. So if we do this one, inserted at, so this is for today, right? And then we can do this one, inserted at, and then we would also have from today. I think I can join them together. Astro, I see your question. 1 second, I'm gonna get to you in a moment. I want to join these together. I want to join them. So we're gonna call this viewers. And we're gonna call this... Could add NyanCat to memebox. Oh my gosh, you're right, Steffi. How did I never think of that by now? Strange. Okay, viewers, and then we're gonna call this chatters. Also, Astro, welcome in. Charles, welcome in. It's good to see you. It's very nice to see you again. So we've got this, and then what we do is we do a select star from... Oh, we need to generate a series. Sorry. I already have one up here, but I'm just gonna copy it. Remember, chat, we need a time series, because if we don't have one, the missing dates. This is a time series minute. Should be sufficient. Yeah. So we're gonna do a time series for what day is today? 14th of March. Okay, 14th of March. So if I do a 1 minute generate series, the result of that is going to be for this day. That's interesting. Oops. I think I need to put from the 15th. I think that's the lower bound. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, exactly. So there will be for all the minutes in the day. Okay, then there's viewers and then chatters, and we called that time series minute. So we do select time, select star. Oh, DirectX 34. That sounds like a DirectX. What was that? DirectX. Wait, this is ringing a bell somewhere. Oh, that's ringing a bell. DirectX. Isn't that like a drawing thing on like for screens somehow technology? I don't know. Thank you very much for the follow anyhow, DirectX. I appreciate that. Time series. What did I call this? Time series minute. Yes, and it's only Pi Day for the weird ones of you who write dates with month and then day. We have to take that out. Okay, from time series minute as TM trademark, and then we do a left join. This is very important. We don't want to. Yeah, the Windows Microsoft API for the media stuff. Exactly, DirectX. Isn't that it? Yeah. That's cool. Also, DirectX, that's a great username. If you'd like to tell us more about that username, I would love to hear more about it. We have a left join viewers as VS on vs.inserted@ equals. Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. 1 second. So we can date trunk that so that they join properly, because otherwise they're not going to join. I already did this once before. Date trunk minute, you see? That's exactly what I need. I'm not going to rewrite my code. Why would I do that? So what we're doing is we have a minute timestamp, but of course these include all of the milliseconds and stuff. So we do this equals tm dot day minute. Day minute. Yeah. And then we do the same thing with chatters as CS on CS, blah, blah, blah. And now when we have everything, it should show us everything. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Oh, we can probably extend, we can probably do that. Oops, sorry. We can probably go a bit later because the stream only started where tm.day minute is greater than 2022-03 14 20. Let's do 1958:00. Okay, here we go, chat. That doesn't look very promising. Oh yeah, here we go. There you go. So this is what I wanted to show you, and I'm gonna clean this up. 1 second. tm.day minute. And then we're gonna do viewer count and chat users. I deliberately didn't call it count because it's just the number of people connected to chat. And Astro Charles, I hope you're listening. This is exactly the thing I wanted to have to answer your question. And for once and for all, I will answer this question for everyone on Twitch who is ever going to ask this question. Here is the answer you're looking for. It's very simple. Okay? What we've done is every 2 minutes, we are recording the view count, which is what Twitch tells you your viewership is, and every single person connected in chat into my database. And what we've now done is gone and created a data set where we have, since I started streaming, which is 8 p.m., 9 p.m. local time here in Zurich, Switzerland, and what Twitch reports as the viewer count and how many users are connected to my chat, of which those two things are extremely different. Astro Charles, your question is, hi Maddie, I don't understand. How does one be in chat and not be viewing? Also, I can be viewing, aka lurking, and not be counted towards your chat numbers, correct? So, you can, in theory, be lurking in stream, aka viewing, and not count towards the view count. However, Twitch has said that lurkers in most situations will count towards viewership. There are certain situations where you won't count. That is probably edge case scenarios where you're watching 20 plus streams at once and you're not having all of the tabs open or something like this. But fundamentally, you are watching the stream, and anyone watching the stream will be counted as a viewer. How can you be connected to chat? Steffi and Rugmat have both offered two explanations. Number one, if you minimize chat in the Twitch GUI, you will not be in chat, but you'll be counted as a viewer. Likewise, if you go into chat, you pop out my chat, you're in my chat but have no video. Also, if you connect with an IRC client, like Phil has provided, you can connect to chat without even going to twitch.tv via API, essentially. And you'll be in chat, but again, you won't be counted as a viewer. And this becomes very apparent that these two things are very different purely by looking at the number of chat users before I even started streaming. I haven't clicked go live yet at this point in time. There's already 13 users in my chat. Me probably being one of them. So this number is not your viewership. It's very simple. It's not possible to be your viewership. Everyone has said that it's not your viewership, so don't count it as your viewership. It's something very different. It's the number of people who are connected to your chat, which can be interesting for other reasons, of course. So our viewership is what Twitch reports is our viewership. There's no other way for you to calculate that. That is literally Twitch's money. Like, that formula of how they calculate viewers is worth billions to them. If someone understood exactly how Twitch calculates viewership, then they could game the system. So that's why Twitch will not exactly reveal how they count viewership. What they have said in their support article, which I can link to if someone wants to, is if you mute the stream, you still count. If you watch it as an embed, you still count as a viewer. If you watch the stream in a tiny window, like Twitch's like theater mode thing or whatever, you will still count as a viewer. All those things still count viewership. There's just some edge cases or some weird things that Twitch doesn't count as viewers for whatever reason, right? Wayne, nice to see you here. Welcome in. I believe you hang out in Finite Stream, right? Is that correct? Why do bots hang out in the IRC channel? That is a very, very, very good question. I assume for analytics most of the time, for all, yeah, that kind of thing. Possibly to read chat messages and do some kind of machine learning stuff. I don't know. No one really knows who are behind a lot of those accounts. There's a ton of accounts in my chat, Bike Heroes Everywhere, or BLK Heroes Everywhere, or Joint Effort with 2 T's. Or Remastino or something, and some of those might be bot accounts, some of them might just be people lurking and they don't want to chat, and that's fine. I don't care. It's no problem. Now, to react to triggers like drop, some of them, Phil, yes, some of them are bots. So like Creatis bot or Stream Elements, those things, or sound alerts, those are bots, right? Some of them are bots for other purposes, which we don't know, right? Yeah, Wayne, oh cool, you do hang out in Finite Stream. Good, I got that right. And Astro, glad that the explanations and everyone's stuff has helped you understand that better. it's about, this whole stream is about understanding things. So I'm really glad that that helped you. Yeah, Wayne, so about the machine learning thing, there are too many of them for it to be machine learning, right? The machine learning is still not something very common. It's something that takes a lot of time and resources, and it's very costly to run in the cloud at the scale that someone would want to be doing it on Twitch. Especially, here's the thing, especially in science and tech streams. So I could understand a big, you know, I don't know, maybe an esports team company, or you know, some actor with a vested interest in gaming monitoring all the channels in a particular type of game or in multiple different big games, like someone monitoring Elden Ring to see what type of feedback is being given about the game, and then using that feedback and using machine learning to parse through all of that feedback and give it to the development team behind Elden Ring. I could see that as a use case. What I don't see as a use case is tons of these bots hanging out in my stream in technology. Like, it just makes no sense to me. I don't really understand. It's like in The Last Starfighter. If you get a perfect 100 drop, they recruit you to fight in an interstellar war. Hey, I haven't gotten my recruitment thing yet, Yost. That's strange. I hit 100 a long time ago and I didn't get anything, so yeah. Technically, I thought about the possibility of a Markov generator bot, but not really machine learning. What would you use Markov for in this context, Wayne? I'm curious. I know Markov in the context of pathing, for example, for marketing channel analytics, which Phil probably knows a lot about as well. Maddie, I have to disagree for text streams. Speaking of Phil, why? Because we use more precise language, so to better develop your NLP models, this is a better source. That's very true, but it's very, very costly. It's very, very costly, Phil. I mean, running machine learning in the cloud with, like, I don't know, 25 live stream data? I don't know. To make a bot that can generate not very good but still entertaining text in chat. That would be kind of fun, Wayne. That would be pretty fun. I would love to see that. Do you stream, Wayne? I'd love to see that. If you could do something like that. It would be super fun. And yeah, finite. Depends on output and rev model. Yeah. I don't know what the revenue is. That's very true. I don't know what the revenue is. But anyway, so chat, this is what you see, right? As my stream goes on over time, I have a viewer count and I have a chat users count. Now, in this timeline, there's also a raid event somewhere. Not today specifically. I mean, Rugmat's raid, yes. It was there, but we don't know which viewers exactly come in during a raid. This is the difficulty. So let me just go to the 5th, because I think I have the same data for the 5th. Let me just generate this. 05 to 06. I don't think we had view count then. We had chat users, which is fine. But at some point here, there was a raid from Soypede, right? So what we can do, for the moment, I'm just going to comment this out, because we don't need it. We don't need that. Wayne, you do stream. I was just working on my streams bot last night. I'd definitely like to create a Markov generator aspect to my bot. That would be fun. That would be very cool. Yeah. Command, yeah. I'm wondering how Markov... Yeah, because it can weight different types of word sequences, right? I suppose it's like an easy way around natural language processing, because NLP is pretty complex with picking out all the entities and stuff. So it would be pretty fun for you to figure out when someone says, I don't know, I like this stream, then you know the combination I like this stream. You know about that combination about stream being the 4th word in the sentence. and it's interesting how you would pick up on those chains. Yeah. I've definitely seen Markov bot generator bots in non-Twitch IRC channels where users can write like talk like X and generate text from a corpus of users' previous messages. Oh, I'm sure it works. Yeah, 100%. I just can't imagine how, because I've never done it before, but I'm really curious to see it. Definitely. If I have time, I'll definitely check into your stream. I would love to see that. And if you had the bot, it would be fun to bring it in here and see what it can do. That would be so much fun. Okay, so we've got chatters, and now we're just gonna bring in the raids, right? This is the thing. Because the raids is there, we can do select inserted at, and then something, I don't remember what it is, from Twitch raid raw. And I think we did sorry, I'm really digging this music. So I don't think we need this. We have an event ID for the raid. We also don't need that technically. Nerd talk. You might be mistaking Markov for a different algorithm, Wayne. Are Markov chains really that efficient for sentence generation? Because path generation for chains already needs n-gram identification. That could be a lot of load, yes. I mean, ultimately, if you know what your objective is, if you know that you want to create a bot that has a talk-like feature, then what you need to think about is, I need to identify sentence chains or words in a chain together to form sentences. And I could see multiple ways of trying to do that. Markov, I don't know. You'd have to try it. I think it would work, to be honest. I think it would work. I don't know how well it would work, but it would certainly have a result. There will be some kind of result from it. But yeah, exciting. It's always great talking about this stuff. Exactly. So chat, I'm gonna take a quick break. My butt is a bit sore. Maddie, question, do you use to-do comments in code? You haven't seen my code, have you? There's only to-do comments. Like this one. Literally this. Yeah, I do in specific spots. Otherwise, I put everything into issues properly. Obviously, now I'm working off of a Miro. But yeah, definitely do. That being said, this is very much like MVP, so yeah, it's pretty raw still. Okay, so raids inserted at, and then we're gonna do another left join here. Go 1 second. I'll just finish this up before we raids as rs. Date trunk rs inserted at. And we're gonna make this easy. We're gonna do where rs dot inserted at is not, oops, that's small, is nor null, is not null. And then we're gonna do, instead of viewer count, we're gonna do raid source and raid size. There you go. Okay, so it was this timestamp. Okay, so we're gonna do what's the main thing? TM dot inserted at is greater than or equal to with, I don't know, 20, for example. Well, let's do between. I know it's not inserted at day minute. 20, 00. Between. Yikes, come on. Okay. We're gonna do, instead of 29, we're gonna do 35 or something. Ah. Team to-do comments checking in. I use them for all the little things while I develop, or I'd forget. Issues come in if they're not handled for an hour. That makes sense. That makes sense. Hey Maddie, happy Monday, just lurking around. Hey Brocco, nice to see you. Welcome in. Good to see you again in chat. It's nice having you here. Thanks for lurking. Appreciate it. Matthias Schläfer released a tiny tutorial about Markov chains for language generation. Okay. Nice. Okay. Towards data science, always a good article. Towards data science, generally the quality of stuff on there is pretty good. Thank you for the good vibes, XG. Go stretch my butt. Yeah, I will. Okay. Go stretch and make sure your butt is not hurt. Yeah, also sounds wrong. Still. I'm gonna run an ad. While I'm gone, I will need just a minute or two and I'll be back again. Wrong one. Check it out, chat. You can also get this sweet, sweet merch if you'd like. Whoa, you can manually run ads on Twitch? Yeah. So you have to run ads if you're affiliate. I tried to turn them. I tried to turn them off completely. It's not possible. Thank you, Ryan.
Garbage.
I tried to turn them off completely. It's not. Excuse me. It's not possible to turn them off completely, but what you can do is you can select when to run them. You just have to run 30 seconds of ads every 60 minutes. So what I do is I just run a double ads at the beginning of my stream during the starting soon screen when nothing is happening. That's a full 1 minute of ads. So that eliminates a pre-roll for anyone coming into the stream, and it gives me an hour without ads. Then I typically take a break about around this time, an hour and a half or so in, depending on when ads have been run. And so I have another slot there. Now we have another hour without any ads. And that's basically, I don't want people getting pre-rolls. Although I have been seeing Twitch change the ad experience now. where you can still see the stream on the top right corner of your window.
I think I am
Oh.
getting a text message. Whoop. Ah, there it is.
You're right. I did get a message. But yeah, basically running the ads at those times makes sure people don't miss stuff. Digging the vibes on this stream, but I need to focus on day job work. Yeah, Wayne, no problem. Thank you for the compliment. I appreciate you like it here. Twitch needs those nice green bills. The irony being, of course, that in Switzerland, I don't know, there are not that many ads. A lot of people get ads for my channel, but when I am on someone else's stream, I tend to not get that many ads, purely because Switzerland's not booking enough ads. So I just watch ad-free a lot of the times. It's quite funny. As a streamer, how do you know when an ad is running? Okay, BroccoDev, I will tell you. It's very simple. What you do is in your OBS, let me just send you the link to this, 1 second. Docs, custom browser docs, ads, close. So what you're gonna do, Brocco, is you're gonna open up this window with your username. It's called the Streamer Ads Manager. What it allows you to do, I can bring it up on stream, I guess. 1 second. I'll change scenes in a second. I want to see if it does anything weird by doing this. Yeah. So let me just show this. So essentially what this is it's a little panel that you can add to your OBS. And I have it in my OBS. If you want to see, it looks like this. So you can actually see this here. That's the ad manager. Now, what is my OBS? What is this doing? This is telling you when the next ad is going to run. It allows you to snooze an ad for 5 minutes. And you can do that 3 times per 90 minutes or something. I'm not sure 100% about that one. I get 3 of them per stream is kind of how I think about it. And you can manually click run 30-second ad. There's also ways to edit this. So if I click edit, which I'm not going to do, if you click edit, you can edit all the durations. So you can have a 60-second ad duration here, a button, for example. I just have the 30-second one because I run it once normally. I don't need to run it twice, except in the beginning of stream, so it doesn't really matter. And yeah, you can manage your entire ad experience there. I know that there's like a more detailed settings thing in Twitch itself, in your account, where you can set this up as well, I believe. But yeah, this is basically the reason. Running 30 seconds manually will remove the upcoming auto ad. If you don't do this, it's not necessarily the case that viewers who are currently watching will get an ad. It means that anyone coming into the stream will be hit with a pre-roll, and I don't like that. They will be hit with an ad. Oh my god, I haven't been managing this, thank you so much. Filling water bio breaks during ads makes sense. Exactly. When you're not doing something of value, anyway, when you have like a BRB screen on or something like that, then it makes sense to run ads at those times. Exactly. So yeah, I'm glad it helped you. I'm super happy. Yeah. So here is the fun part, and this is actually a bit weird. Can I not order this? Order by 1. Wayne, do raids include chat users? Oh, you're asking me the greatest question of all time. This is exactly what I want to show you. This is exactly what I want to show you. So let me show you something. So I got a raid on the 5th of March. This was last week's stream? A week before last week. I got a raid from Soypete with 18 people. Look at how interesting this is. Unfortunately, I don't have viewership for this. So if anyone would raid me today, I would have the data for this and we could look at today's raid. But because you never know if a raid is going to happen, I can't do that right now. But I had, before connected to my chat, I had around 20 people. I had 21, 20, 21, 19, right? As that raid occurred, I still had the same number of chat users. And if you look at 32, which was 3 minutes later, I only had 22 people connected to chat. It's a little bit low if you consider that 18 people came in, right? So they might have gotten a pre-roll or something. It's possible they got an ad. They weren't connected to chat yet. They should be connected to chat right away. Again, we're not talking about viewers, talking about chat users, right? So they should be in there by now. But Twitch also has a sort of 2-minute latency. So technically, if the raid occurred at 29 and there's like a 2-minute latency, that 32 might have just been too early. So if we look at the next one, we can see 27. And actually, it's very interesting to go a little bit further here and not so much further back. Let's just extend this a little bit. So what's interesting here is there's 22, 27, 25. The number of users connected to chat didn't actually increase that much. It should have gone up a lot more. This means one of multiple things, and we need to probably note this down. One possibility is raid size does not actually tell you the real amount of people who raided. It's possible that Twitch is inflating raid numbers, whether by design or not. It's possible that the raid numbers are not actually the number of people who raided. That's one possibility. It's also possible that raids do not include certain users. And this I can tell you is true already. The reason I know this is true is because I watch Twitch sometimes on my PS5. And my PS5, when I am watching with the Twitch native app, I sometimes do not get taken in a raid. And I do not know under what circumstances exactly that happens, but I can imagine that console users, as well as users on mobile, as well as long, I'll come up with the other one in a second. I can tell you that some users do not get taken in the raid. And I think mechanically that basically only viewers should be included in the raid, in theory. So if you're not counting as a viewer, you technically don't get taken into the raid, sort of, I think. What's really weird about this is on mobile I've had this, as well as only viewers should be taken in the raid. On the raid? In the raid? On the raid. And long active tab windows, not in focus. So on console I've had this happen to me. I've also had this happen to me on mobile once, maybe a glitch once or twice, but it's happened as well. And on if I have multiple streams open and one of them is not in focus for a long time and they raided, I'm sometimes not in the raid. I'm sometimes just on their channel still and they are hosting someone else. So they raided out. So those are certainly 3 scenarios, Wayne, where users are not taken into the raid. So raids do not include certain users. So the question is, you know, are only viewers taken on the raid? This is another possibility of why the raid isn't increasing chat count. Chat count or chat users connected to chat is delayed by more than 2 minutes. Twitch is how do you say? Twitch is what's the word for this? Twitch's statement or whatever. That's one possibility, and we can actually see here that that's probably most certainly the case. If it was instant, this 18 would have been reflected here instantly. That being said, people left chat immediately prior to the raid. People from the raid, or users, I should talk about users. Users from the raid left chat prior to the next update. Those are all possibilities. And the one that I think is most probable among all of these, I think these are all probable. They to some extent, they do have possibilities of being true. The one that I think is the most possible is that Twitch's Tmi endpoint is fundamentally broken. I find it helpful to use humanizing language when working with statistics. Keep your mind centered. Yeah, so a human is better than user, but I mean a user is a person. So people, certain people, raids do not include certain people. Could also be people who raid but don't have chat open. Yes, okay. Raiders, users in the raid without chat open. Yeah, for sure. But for me, all of those possibilities still do not amount to what I think is this. That basically Twitch's Tmi endpoint. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about this. tmi.twitch.tv/group/user/yourname/chatters. If you go to this URL in your browser, which you can do that right now, this is what you receive in light mode. You receive a JSON of everyone in your chat. And this is the piece of information that we are using to determine who is in chat. Thank you, Rugmat. Chatters also only includes logged in users. Viewers will count anyone. That is correct. However, oh, that's a very good point. Ah, yes. Viewers, anonymous, no, sorry, not logged in users are counted as viewers, but not in chat. That is a very good point, Rugman. I forgot about this, and that's a very, very, very good point. This is a kind of big deal because if we look at the numbers, I mean, okay, I don't need to show this right now, but if we look at the numbers for the raid, 18, and we see a bump, we see the bump here, it's a little bit later. Let's assume for the moment that not a single person in my chat left. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Users were already present in chat prior to the raid. Multi-stream watchers. So these are people who watch multiple streams at the same time, which I do as well. So they wouldn't be double counted, right? They would be counted here already. But you're right, 18 as a raid size probably includes only viewers, right? Which means that Soy Pete had 18 viewers at the time, which means that some of those viewers were probably anonymous, aka not logged in. So they were counted as viewers, and then so we saw this bump here, which is realistically what, like 8? So there's 10 in there that are anonymous. And some of them abandoned, right? So if we assume 18, let's assume 20% decay off the bat, like just 20% of them decide to leave, that would be roughly 3 to 4. So we do 18 minus 4 would be 14. And then we see the bump of 8. So that would be 18 minus 4 minus 8. So there would be something like 6 anonymous viewers. It's plausible. That noob, my notification said yellow. Welcome in, that noob. That's very interesting. Your notification said yellow. Did anyone else check their notification for what color they received? Very interesting. Welcome in, that noob. So nice to see you. Memebox working as expected today, so that's very nice. Ah, Wayne, yours said green. How interesting. Ooh, estudiando ajedrez? Ajedrez? I don't know how to...
They're great.
Yeah, noob. It is working. Of course it's working. I said it's working as expected. Oh, you thought it was a joke. I see. You thought it was a joke. Noob, thank you so much for that subscription. 13 months. I do believe that is very lucky, yes. I believe that's lucky. You know, in Japan, 13 is a lucky number, and 4 is not a lucky number in Japan. So, you know, there's no 4 in buildings. They just don't include it. 13, I believe... Thank you, Ian. Ian Alex Hart triggered the fart sound and smell. You imagine smell, like triggering smells? That would be insane. I would love it. Saying memebox and working, that's only possible in different timelines. Noob, let's not forget. Let's not forget, noob. You get to put your face, or better, I should say, you get to put your name on the mask of subscription. So noob, you get to choose again which color you would like and where you would like your name on the mask of subscription. And yeah, I have to say, it's still, there's plenty. How many masks do you already have? I have one. Do you want to see it? Hold on. We have one from last month. This was last month's. This is when we started the shenanigans with the mask of subscription. So this is pretty crazy, I have to say. Like, it's totally covered. So it's kind of cool. Like, yeah. Looking at, like, I have it hanging above my desk, and it's actually kind of cool to look at. It's pretty interesting. It sort of documents, for me, it sort of documents something that is so it's so obscure, like people subscribing to me, that I wanted to somehow visualize it. Put them in the background. Oh yeah, it would be actually. Like have them on the wall somewhere. It's kind of creepy though. I think you wrote over mine. No, Exegete? No, that's not true. That's not true. I just can't find it anymore. I just can't find it anymore. Yeah, I think it looks pretty nice. I think it's pretty cool, like all the different colors and stuff. It's kind of, it's a nice memory for me when I look at it when I'm sitting at the desk here during the week. It's just, you know, it's just a nice memory for me. Yeah, I like seeing like everyone who's supported me and has given so much of their time and money to like see me be successful on Twitch. It's just it's very nice. I asked you to write it in white, so I think that's fair if you did. I mean, Exegete, I'm pretty sure yours is up here. Maybe, oh no, Canhorn was on the forehead, wasn't it? And then I think yours was somewhere on the chin, maybe? Oh yeah, you're here. I can see it. It's just there. You can't see it on camera though. Yes, we have teal. We have all of these colors, Noob. Hold on. These are all the colors. Okay? So you can choose any of those colors. And we have teal. Teal would probably be... There's like mint blue. That's nice. Like that color. The sort of cerulean blue is this one. I think that's the one you chose last time. 65 million colors. I mean, if we start mixing it, yeah, sure. Be a bit mixed. Okay, I'll just put this for here for now. Put that back there. Okay. Yeah, Noob, have you seen the new emotes, by the way? If you're subscribed, you have access to all these crazy cool emotes. So yeah, Noob, where do you want to be on the mask? That's the question. Your dog is good at triggering smells, Wayne. So is Fiona, actually. She's quite good. Moja took up water painting for her birthday. She loves to mix colors with black. What? So you get brown. Which pen brand is that? Oh, you're asking me things. Okay, this brand... This is Shinhan Art. Shinhanart.com. Not sponsored. Ooh, we have parachute droplets. Let's go. Everybody drop. Let's go. We've got droplets in the 1 FPS. She's 3 and her favorite color is brown. Non-sponsored. Where is it free? Noob, anywhere you see is free. We have some pretty cool like synchronicity stuff going on here. It's pretty interesting. You feared Copic. Really? I mean, to be fair, they're not mine. They're my partners. I love the new emotes. At the bottom of the other eye. Ah, yeah. Good spot. Right there. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna do this very carefully, Noob. So... let me just help you here. 1 second. Okay, so... Here we go. That... Noob. Double underscore. Okay. Here you go. Ta-da! Oh, I should make it big, shouldn't I? Here you go. So we've got Noob. Noob is here, underneath the other eye now. Thank you, Noob, for your subscription. I appreciate you. You can change cams if you ask me to, yes. It's not automatic. Actually. Ryan, I submitted a progress update on ATA to uni and it came out to be a 50-page document. Wow, that is madness. That is madness. 50 pages. Oh my gosh. It's perfect, noob. That's wonderful. Dirt juice. What does that look like? Interesting. This is apparently dirt juice. Fascinating. Huh. The bottom of the other eye. Oh, nice. Dirt bike. Astro. Good land. 54.45. That's a very respectable score. So here we were looking at whether we can determine the reason for a raid. Brap indeed, Ian. Are you part of Brap? Do you know Brap? That's the sound dirt bikes or supermoto make. They're basically just on-off motorbikes because they're two-stroke, so they just brap, and then they're off again. It's quite funny. So we were trying to figure out from this last raid that we got, which was on the 5th of March. So if we get a raid today, it'll be great. Obviously, we don't have one right now to work with, but it's fine. We had 18 come through. Twitch tells us 18. I would actually like to know if someone has actually done this. Twitch raid viewer count accuracy. I miss my supermoto. Wasn't a two-stroke, but I do love a good two. Oh, really? It wasn't a two-stroke. Okay. Okay, rating figures considerably higher than viewer. I've noticed a number of people rating with figures considerably higher than their viewer numbers. So 30 viewers, rating with 60. Currently a bug running around that causes a lot of streamers to have a much lower viewer count than what it actually is. Oh, okay, no. That's probably not what it is. This was 2019. Twitch dev ambassador? Barry. Here we go. Barry is the person to listen to. This is a verified Twitch dev ambassador. Bots can't raid. They are only connected to chat and cannot opt in to join a raid. And conversely opt out to not join a raid. Okay. Interesting. So we already have one question answered. Suzuki DRZ 400 SM, the vanilla of supermoto. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. How accurate is Twitch's OBS? I had 3 viewers on my stream that stuck around for almost 3 hours. I'm a very small streamer, blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Garbage. I was recently watching a streamer on Twitch, had about 60 plus 60 plus garbage shown on the amount of viewers. I didn't see that many viewers in chat. Chat was manageable. When they rated, it showed only 5 people. And the person hosted immediately afterwards, and it showed that they hosted with the high numbers. Has anyone seen it before? Could have raided a mature channel, and some users' settings won't follow a raid into a mature channel. Ah, that's interesting. Okay, in my case, my channel's not set to mature, so that wouldn't explain that. Also, this is Twitch. Our inaccurate reporting of numbers is really a surprise. It's Twitch garbage. For over a month, my stream manager, 30 to 45 second viewers, blah, blah, blah. I'd probably feel more confident as a streamer if my view count was inflated like that. It usually hangs around 1 or 0. Okay, that's great. Great. In addition to the other valid reasons commenters have listed, if their stream was featured as an embed on a site, or they have their stream linked to their own personal site, those would be legitimate views and would not count toward a raid. Ah, okay, so some raiders are not taken with. Like like embeds then. Okay, so people really need to stop immediately thinking it's straight blah 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 blah. Okay. Okay. Interesting. All right, so most of my viewers come from embed websites from my personal projects, and with friends who own websites that allows me to be featured on their websites helps a lot with my growth. When I've personally tried rating someone, only a handful join, which is fair enough, but only a small fraction of total people. It makes a ton of sense how this works, and to reiterate, Twitch certainly knows who is viewbotting. An ex-friend who abused the system with viewbotting got shut down pretty much by Twitch because of the abuse of the system. Okay. People could leave before the raid, of course. Twitch raid is bad with numbers, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So it's good for ideas, right? Good for ideas. But essentially, Twitch had a Twitter post a while back. Attention streamers, this was in 2017. We've updated raids so all your viewers are included automatically when you raid. Explore new channels and introduce your community to other streamers more easily. Wow. Maybe the raid article actually... Oh, light mode. Come on. Seriously? How do raids work? Here we go. A raid sends everyone on your channel page at the time of the raid to the target channel. That's an interesting formulation. Oh, cool. There's hate raids again against women and LGBTQ plus members. Yay. That's lovely. Really lovely. Not. Okay, alternatively, click the raid channel quick action on your dashboard. Okay. Pop-up tracks the number of participants. After 10 seconds, or when everyone's ready to go, click raid now. If cancel or raid now is not clicked before the purple countdown, the raid will automatically begin. These are not old tweets. These are from March 12th. These are from recently now. These are from 2 days ago. This is from 2 days ago. It's awful. Where's my we've actioned on your report email about the streamer I notified you about that literally pointed a camera at people pissing then? Like, do I have to post the screenshot I took of the offending scene in the VOD that got deleted 2 hours later? Because I'll post the screenshot I took of the offending scene that got... Oh, and tagging Wendy's since I got served an ad for them on it. Wow. Okay. That is... Wow. That is really something. Okay. Holy moly. Thank you, Phil, very much for the support. And if that's not clear for anyone here, if you have any kind of problem with anyone from anywhere, from any walk of life, then you can just get out now. I will not tolerate that here either. Just so it's said. This is interesting. Moderators and broadcasters can review recent raids. What? I didn't know about this. Did you know about this, chat? I didn't know about that. I've never seen that before. Oh, it just shows you recent raids. It just shows you when and who. No, never been raided. It just shows you when and who, but not how big the raid was. You know nothing, Jon Snow. That's interesting. Fascinating. Managing raids. Using chat moderation, you can reduce spam from an incoming raid or blah, 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 blah. Managing individual harassment. What's the difference between raiding and hosting? Ah, okay. This is different from hosting, which embeds. Hosting does not redirect anyone on the page. Okay. Please note, as a part of your raid, the channel will also host. In terms of use cases, raiding is a great thing to do at the end of your broadcast to send all your viewers over to an blah 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 blah. Thank the streamer, introduce yourself, keep it short, blah blah blah. Do raids work on mobile? Yes. Can I raid without hosting? No, you cannot. This still doesn't clarify a lot of the things we wrote down, but it's a redirect. Do viewers from a hoster count against viewers of a stream? That is a good question. I do not know, Phil, and Twitch will probably never tell us. I could imagine that they do, seeing as when you connect to, let's say I am hosting, let's say I'm hosting you, okay? I'm hosting Phil. And someone goes to my page, /Matty2shoes, but the embed that loads, the video that loads, the video is yours, /Phil, right? So realistically, it will count as a viewer for you. Realistically. Good night, Ryan. Thank you very much for hanging out, and let me know how the thing goes. I'm curious to know how that works out, by the way. Ryan and I have been chatting about some stuff on Discord. If you would like to join our Discord community, I can highly recommend it, because it's good fun. So, what we have learned so far about this is, yep, I just checked the network requests. Hosted means you're just requesting that stream. Ah, you see? Spoken like a true analyst, Phil. Spoken like a true analyst. You went and actually tested. So yes, that makes sense that it counts as a view. Now, what I think is the case is that the endpoint that we're getting this data from is not very accurate, which of course means that we're in a bit of a poo-poo situation, because right now the whole feature I have designed, which in terms of feature, let me just bring this up for 1 second. Why is it reloading this? I don't understand. Okay, so this is the feature, right? By the way, we're in the data modeling process right now. That wasn't obvious. We're doing this step right here. In order to model the data, we need to better understand the data. Okay. So what we're doing as part of this first feature, the first feature we are building is raid decay. We want to detect when a raid occurs, and we want to track the people from the raid and look at how long it takes for them to reach 0 in your stream, or do they ever reach 0? My hypothesis is, and let me just draw something here so that it's a little bit more clear. My hypothesis is that your raid chart looks something like this. You have a viewership chart, so let's assume your viewership is something like this, okay? This is your viewership of a typical stream. And let's say right here, this first feature is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. It's not sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, just by the way, it's not. So let's assume that there's a first raid that happens here. So I assume that what happens is, and that's not the right pen. I don't want highlighter. I want this one, and I want a different color, like this color. So what I assume is that this raid here accounts for this spike, okay? But then what's interesting is it might follow a pattern like this, right? You don't know. This is the thing. The raid, I would like to know how much viewership the raid accounts for, right? This doesn't make any sense like this, by the way. Let me just do this a little bit easier. So this makes a bit more sense. Where is this? Okay, gray. So this is your viewership, okay? You're doing really, really well, and then suddenly, boom, there's a massive spike in your viewership. And it stays up there and then slowly trickles, and then eventually it goes like this, okay? So that's your viewership. At some point, there's a raid. Let's assume the raid is here. That's what makes most sense in this context. If the raid comes in, the raid will be responsible for boosting your viewership to something like here. The question is, do they then account for all of your viewership, or does the raid decay at a slower rate? And this becomes really interesting if you look at multiple raids. So let's say you receive a smaller raid earlier, like here. Let's say you had an increase here, and that's because you received a smaller raid. I don't know visually how well this will look yet, but you received a raid here, and let's say it does that. Okay, this is a really interesting learning. From this alone, I would draw the following conclusion. I would say, if I had a highlighter that was green, I would say this raid here, that's not a very good pen. Can I undo this? Yeah, I can. Like this raid here was kind of shitty for content, right? This raid, on the other hand, had pretty good retention, sort of, right? And this is the real question, is, are we able to actually identify the users that come in with the raid? That's the real question. That's the real question. And based on this number here, based on purely this number, based on all the things we wrote down here, I don't know how easy that's going to be. That's the real problem. I can identify who was in chat before, and I can say, okay, there's 27 people here 6 minutes later. There were 19 of them there before, and there's 27 now. I can exclude all the people who were there before and only come up with those 8 new people. And I then basically from that automatically assume those 8 people came from there. That's not necessarily correct. Of course, it could be that they just joined the stream at that time, right? That's totally possible. But yeah, I think... Oh. If you're interested in more reading material on that topic, great summary about cohort analysis. Yes, exactly, Phil. That's exactly what it is. It's a cohort analysis. You're making a group. You're making a group of people. You're taking people and grouping them into one group or cohort based on certain criteria. The criteria being here, these people came from a raid. That's the criteria. So what's interesting about this is we have the chat users. So what we could do, instead of just taking the chat users here, that's the viewers, or is it chatters? So what we could do is we could do a diff for the chatters. Like this. So we say chatters. And then down here we say chatters. Now we don't care about the source anymore. So the raid size was 18. Okay. So what we can do is we can determine here the difference between this and this, essentially. So we would do a difference when there is a chat user jump. So basically, as it gets longer, we can look at the difference between these two. So if we were to do this first, we're gonna say, 1 second. This is gonna be as chat1, and then we're gonna do the second one. I don't know if it works this way. As chat2. I think I need the full real estate now. Sorry, chat. You might have stuff cut off. I don't know. So if I do, yeah. So these are the two. These are the two. Okay. Maddie, can't you use your lurk reveal to exclude bots? Then you get a more clean number. So I want to do all of the modeling process. I want to do the sort of bot counting and stuff later, because right now all I'm concerned about is who came with in the raid. And what I can tell you is that Creatus bot, for example, didn't come in with the raid because they were here before in chat, and bots don't get taken with in the raid. So it's actually a more, let's say it's a more straightforward thing. So let's call this with data as, let's do like that. And then we're going to do select star from data. So basically we do chat1, and then we're going to union union all, because I want them on top of each other, just so I can is it chat2? Did I call them chat1 and 2? Chat1 and chat2, yeah. Oh wait, if I name them the same, I can't name them the same, can I? Yeah. Select chat2 from data. There we go. So now they're on top of each other, just like they are in the real data set. So if I want to exclude these from each other, are they an array? They don't look like an array. I think we should make them an array. It's going to tell me I can't union stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's fine. JSON B. Okay, good. Now it's an array again. Okay. So now we have our two array fields, and now I want to determine which ones from here are not in there. So we're going to call this union as this. Too many spaces here. We don't need it. Okay. Also, Phil, I'm not really concerned right now with bot counts or anything like that, because they only count in the view. They don't count in the view count anyway. They only count as connected to chat, which I don't care about. What I'm most concerned about is determining who in chat came from the raid, because Twitch doesn't tell you which viewers came from the raid. They just tell you your total view count, which I think is a huge oversight, because Twitch knows exactly who came from the raid. They know exactly who was transported to your channel. Why don't they tell you that? I don't know. Why doesn't Twitch provide you better analytics for your stream? I don't know. I have theories, but I don't know. But for your churn, you'd need it as clean as possible. As long as I can select who came from what raid, the rest of the chat users are irrelevant. Kind of. Don't you think, Phil? I mean, I don't see how... Sorry, itchy nose. I don't see how it's relevant to know who else in chat is a bot, for example, because I'm not counting all the people in chat as viewers or something. And sure, money, yeah, money is always a reason. But like, how does Twitch make money from that? They don't. They only save money by not putting that money into product dev. At least that's the theory. My theory is they would probably earn more money if people had better analytics. See, it's a pretty simple calculation. If every streamer understands their audience better, they can increase their viewership, which means Twitch overall increases its viewership. Yeah, exactly. I'm just comparing T-1 with T. Exactly. So what I want to do now is figure out, I think we had this before, like how to actually exclude, chatters. And I think it was this that we used. Diff chat. So we have array event ID and then the JSON B array elements, current chatters from array comp where raid event ID is not null except select. Okay, so let's break this down. We don't need this wrap condition anymore, so we're gonna do from unioned. So we don't need this and we already have that. So we have chat1, sorry, chat2 is the new one. Okay. From unioned, where we don't need that anymore, except select chat1 from unioned. Oh wait, what did we call this? Oh right, we have to say which one is which. Oops, we need a row number in there. 1 second. We need a row number in here. Or we can just do it manually. We can just say as 1. We can just do that actually, it's much easier. And then we can do it here as well. Oops, that didn't work so well. 2 as RN. Okay, so we do select chat1 from unioned where RN equals 1. No, 2. Except select chat1 from unioned where RN equals 1. Okay. That didn't work. Relation unioned does not exist. What the? Let's call this joined instead. Or let's call them chat joined. I don't know, maybe there's something with the name or something. Relation does not exist. Ah, here we go. Okay. This is not correct though. Because Animosi was definitely in there before. Ah, wait, we needed the JSONB array elements. That's what we needed. It splits them out. We needed them to be individualized. Of course. This doesn't work otherwise. Okay, let's see now. Ah, here we go. 11. Does that make sense? What was the count? Does anyone remember? We're comparing 19 and 27. Interesting. So there's 11. What? How is that possible? So between these two arrays, there are 11 users that appeared as a difference. Ah, right, yeah, of course that's possible. It went from 19 to 27. It went from 19 to 27 chatters. But of course that's the total number. That doesn't tell you who's in there, what not, right? Interesting. So some people left immediately, and some people were anonymous viewers who are still anonymous viewers in my stream, right? I think that's the real problem with this, is that even if you identify who's in chat from the raid, so even if we identify who comes from a raid in chat, let's assume that there was no one who abandoned, like literally no one abandoned. The problem is that you will have still non-logged in users who are not being counted in chat, so you can't identify them. So the number of people from each raid will have a certain amount of percentage of non-logged in users, and so creating a burn down chart for each raid only reflects the logged in users from a raid. That is the conclusion of this. Creating a raid burn down chart only reflects the users that are logged in to Twitch at the time of the raid. Interesting. I wonder if that's I wonder if that breaks the feature. Does that make the feature as a whole not that useful anymore? I'm just wondering about that. Okay, ad time. 30-second ad. Everyone can tell me what ad you get. No, because for now it's the only stuff that's doable. Yeah, like what I'm wondering is, let's ignore this chart for a moment. Let me just erase that. Oh, what? Erase. I just want to play something through, Baron, because I'm really quite concerned about something. Let's assume for the moment this is your analytics of your stream. This is time. And these are viewers, not chatters, these are viewers. And let's assume that your viewership is constant. Like that. Okay? And let's say this is 50, just for the sake of easy math. Now, part of that viewership will be Twitch logged in. I'm gonna assume this. Let's say 45. Let's call them TU. So these are Twitch users. These are people who are logged in. And this gray area in between, this area here, thank you for the bid, Rugmat. I appreciate it. See if we can all drop with biddies active and drop game is cooperating. These are the anonymous. I'm gonna call them AY. So there's 5 anonymous user, 5 anonymous in this case. Okay. So 5 out of 50 is 10%. Easy, right? 10%. Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know about the drop game noob. There's some weird stuff going on with the OBS update and the drop game, but I still think it's funny to have it, so I kept it. So let's assume for the moment that this person is a standard Twitch streamer. Really no fancy bells and whistles. This is a Twitch streamer. Oh my gosh, did I just land 0.89? Wow, that's low. That's super low. Phil, you're also gonna land. I think you're gonna land a bit better than I did though. Hey, 69. Nice. Very nice. Welcome to the mix of weird issues with no solutions. Yeah, drop game. Okay, so let's assume this is a standard Twitch scenario. Now this person is a streamer, but that also means that I'm also like that. Right? There's a certain percentage of my viewers. Nice one, Rugmat, 69 shoes for good vibes. I'm also a streamer like that, so part of my viewership is also anonymous, in theory. I don't know if it's true. There's 30 users connected to my chat and, I don't know, 10 viewers or something. So some of them are maybe not connected to chat. It's possible. Anyhow, this person gets a raid. Okay? This person gets a raid. This is what's really interesting. Let's assume the raid comes in right here. Okay, so we're going to erase this. Zoop. Okay, so we know that viewership fundamentally is 10% anonymous. Let's assume that they come in with a raid. Okay. So you were at 50 before. Okay. And then you go to 100. So you got a raid that was 50 viewers. Okay. So what you would assume, expect us viewers. So what you would expect at that scenario is you would expect, sorry, I have to choose a different color here. You would assume that these are your 45 non-anonymous, right? And so here it'll go to 90. That's what you would assume. Like that. Okay? Now the problem is, in the raid count, it'll say raid with 50 viewers. It'll say somewhere on Twitch's notification, plus 50. But in our chat differentiation tool, we might have completely different numbers, because connected to this person's chat, I'm going to write the chat numbers in different thing. Connected to this person's chat at the time could be something like 69. And then at this time in this person's chat is like 112 or something. So when we make the diff between these two numbers, which we just did before, 112 minus 69, quick maths, 43, right? There's 43 users, and then we go, aha, these are the users that came from this raid, which will always not include anonymous users. Always. It's just it's not possible to have the anonymous users in this chatters because they don't connect to chat because they're anonymous. The question is this 43 saying we've identified the 43 people that came from the raid, so there's like 7 anonymous in this scenario, right? So there's 7 that we don't know about. Is that better than literally nothing? That is the question. That is really the question. And Phil's answer is no. Yes, it's fine, because for now it's the only stuff that's doable. That's true. That's true. I'm just wondering whether, as a marketing analytics guy, yes, it's enough. So for me, the accuracy will always be the same. Web is always based on tendencies. Exactly. So this is what I was going to say. Regardless of what this number actually is, if this pattern happens again in another stream 2 weeks later, so assume, well, that's a terrible color for that. Assume everything is the same, and 2 weeks later, we have the same scenario. This number will be identical, right? It would repeat itself. Again, you would have 43. Oh, that was weird. 1 second. You would have 43 out of 50 identified, right? So you would know your viewership before the raid was 50. Your viewership after the raid is 100, right? And then you would have all the tracking of that viewership. And then in addition to that, you would have a cohort of 43 users that you can assume came from the raid, and you can in particular track the performance of those 43 users. That is the main thing about this. And then we enter a bull market. What? Noob, what are you talking about? And that's kind of the power of what I'm trying to achieve, right? Basically, if we erase all this jazz, what I'm trying to achieve is every single raid that you receive will be measured in the same way. So ultimately, you have a viewership chart. So you have your line of viewership like this. So you have your viewership, which is like doing weird stuff like this, okay? Whatever. And for those spikes that happen, there's also a user raid kind of thing, where you would have a raid burn down chart. You would say, yeah, here's where a ton of users came in and they stayed with you until here, for example. And you would know, this one lasted for this long. And then you would have another raid that came in, maybe here, and they stayed like this, and then they lasted much less. They stopped here or something. As long as you represent it in percentage and not in totals, because then the error is inherent in its comparison. Exactly. And that's exactly what the number is going to be. So in this scenario, you're gonna have, this is 100%. Oops, wrong color. Okay, fine. So you have 100% here at the beginning, and this is, I don't know, 50%, and this is 0. And the end result will be, from that RAID, like this one, right? You will have a thing that tells you RAID XYZ from this person, right, was 10 viewers, and out of the ones that we tracked, let's say it was 9 users, and it took a total of 17 minutes burn down, or something like that. I don't know exactly yet. Visual representation, like, I'm scared to click this link, but we're gonna try it blindly. No, probably not. No, it will be chart based. Chart cohort. Let's see if I can find one. I want a burn down. It's the other way. It's gonna look something more like this, but flipped the other way. Can I include an image here? Yeah, it's gonna look like this, but flip the other way. Replace, crop. Can I flip it horizontally? Please tell me I can. No, I can't. It's this, but flip the other way. Ah, wait. Can I, 1 second. Maybe there's a possibility. If I go the other way? No? What if I do... I thought you could do that. Okay, not. Anyway, it would be this, but the other way. Because basically you start here and then you see like the burn down. I don't know, is anyone familiar with the burn down chart? Maybe I can find it that way. Yeah, hold on. I want a nicer one. Oh, there's some terrible charts here. Burn down line chart. I want like a filled line though. Yeah, okay. So area? Maybe? I don't know what to call it. It doesn't exist because it's so nice and it's so hard to do and people don't do it. Twitch streamer peruses Google Images for a long time looking for the perfect chart. This one is pretty close to it. Yeah, this is pretty close. Okay. For a single RAID, I get the line chart representation. So here's the thing. The reason why I want to have a line chart representation, even for multiple RAIDs, is because the RAIDs overlap. They overlap because users come from different places, right? Theoretically, a user could leave here and then come with another RAID or something like that. But yeah, basically, those lines won't start there. They'll start here if the RAID only occurred 2 hours into your stream. I'm still looking at the whole visualization part of the project. That's still quite open, let's say. It's still something that isn't really defined yet. I originally thought I was going to use chart.js. I have some notes here. Yeah, like chart.js or something. Yeah, here, chart.js for data viz. I wrote that here. But I found something quite cool, which I'm kind of looking into at the moment. So for a single RAID, I get the line chart representation, but as an overall comparison, I find this hard to really drive any actionable insight. Aha, so this is the thing, right? There's two things. There's basically this line chart, which just shows you, it just shows you the representation like here. But in addition to that, there's a panel that shows you each RAID and shows you the actual numbers of each RAID. So I still have to design it. I don't know exactly how it's going to look yet, but you would see RAID XYZ with 10 viewers, 9 users had an average watch time of this much, and it took them this long to go from 100% to 0, or from 100% to 50% viewership, or something. I don't know. I will have like specific markers that I use for each RAID. So regardless of size, regardless of the actual absolute size, you'll know, aha, I got a RAID with 10 viewers from this person who was streaming in this category with this title, by the way. So I don't know, Phil Data Baron rated me with 17 viewers. They were streaming in the category software and game dev with the title figuring out what to do with marketing analytics, blah blah blah. And they 17 viewers, there were 16 users identified as part of the RAID, so we have a 98% identification rate, or logged in or something, and it took 26 minutes for them to go from 100% to 50% retention. And then you would have the same thing for another RAID that came in, regardless of when that RAID came in. Oh, and you would see how long ago the RAID was, for example. But yeah, I still need to work on that. Yeah. So, chat. We can identify differences in chatters, but this doesn't necessarily mean that it's 100% identification of who came in with the RAID. It's just an approximation, which ultimately, we are going to have to live with that. There isn't really a world in which we get better data from Twitch right now. There are a lot of streamers that do not want to use the Tmi endpoint anymore. There's tons of software relying on that endpoint, by the way. There's a ton of software that relies on the Tmi endpoint, and Twitch has already said that it's not officially supported anymore, but there's no follow-up. It's not clear what's going to happen with that endpoint. So it's a huge risk building something on that endpoint, but then again, everyone's software is built on that endpoint. So I personally don't think it's such a big deal to do it. Yeah, and I think we're gonna wrap up for today, because I have an early morning doctor's appointment, and as I said at the beginning of stream, things are a bit tough at the moment. I really need to get some sleep. I need to get my rest. So yeah, I'm gonna fire up the usual outro, and I'm gonna say thank you to everyone once again. Fine, I thank you very much to you as well. Thank you, Astro. Thank you, Phil. Thank you to everyone who's been here, who is here, lurking, not lurking, viewing, not viewing, chatting, not chatting. Oh wow, black background so we can read that properly. Thank you to all the new subs who have gotten their space here, except TD, who buggered off and doesn't get his name on the hat. on the mask until he, you know, actually says where he wants his name to be and in what color. So Noob, UK, Finite, Exegete, and TD, thank you very much for those renewed subscriptions for all those months. That's super cool. Thank you to the new followers, Estudiando Ajedrez, DirectX34, DevDevFu, and Uwain, and Caffeinated Diabetic. And of course, thank you to Rugmat for all of those beautiful cheers. Thank you to Ian for tooting on stream as usual. I think it's pretty obvious who we're going to go raid today, but I'm going to have a look anyway in the directory, just to make sure. Just to make sure. Because there may be another target. Let's see. No, it's very clear. It's very clear for me, I think. We're not going to take any risks with the raid. We are going to always raid someone that we know at the moment. I would love to raid someone that we don't know, and give them, you know, viewers and stuff. But ultimately, at the moment, I don't want to take any risks. So, yeah, we're gonna go raid a friend of the stream. A lot of you should know them by now. It's Splashly, and I hope that you have a good time. She's just finishing off her pixel art that she's been doing, and then she'll be doing some React Native development. So yeah, let's go. If you have the raid emote, which you should have the raid emote, you can use the Maddie raid emote now to announce the raid. That's this one. So yeah, do use the raid emote. I think most of you probably have it. Would be cool to see it spammed. And I will see all of you hopefully on Friday. I think I should be streaming. So thank you all for being here, and have a nice one. Bye bye.